when I saw that, I was like, that's exactly what she did in my interview. Hi, and welcome to Blossom Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa, and here on my channel I talk about my good and bad experiences with Hollywood, with celebrities, and working as an entertainment reporter. So this morning I did an interview with ABC Nightline. They wanted to talk to me about Blake Lively and everything that's been going on, and my video, my viral video, and all that stuff. So if you have ABC or if you have Hulu, it's going to be aired on the 30th of January. It was such a nice experience. Everyone was so friendly. It was in this beautiful house up in the hills, and the owner was there, and he was super nice. So it was just this really wonderful experience. So anyways, I hope the interview turns out good. I'm always a bit nervous doing things like that, especially for something as big as ABC. But yeah. Also, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who sent birthday wishes to Magnus, my boyfriend. I said in my previous episode that he had a big birthday the next day. And so many people went on Instagram to congratulate him, and he made him so happy. He was really, really touched by it. He had like teary eyes and just looking at it, and he was so grateful. So thank you for making his day so special. So I guess everyone this morning has been talking about this new video that has been released. It is a behind the scene video that was recorded during a slow motion dance scene between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively in It Ends With Us. Since she has claimed that he has sexually harassed her in the movie, this was one of the scenes that she's been pointing to where she said that he was acting inappropriately, and he leaned in and smelled her hair and said she smelled good. And the way she put it, it sounded like it could have made her uncomfortable. But now, when we've seen this film, I think everyone is starting to have a little doubts about really what happened here. I watched the whole thing, and I have to say that I feel like there's a little bit of a nervous energy there. But the way I see it now, I mean, I've said this before that I didn't believe there was any attraction between them. But now, when you look at Blake, she's so giggly in that moment. So I don't know. But I mean, it does not look like a woman who feels like she's, that he's a threat in any way. I mean, for me, it looks like the complete opposite of that. And the way they're talking to each other, you can hear the audio that they're just like joking with each other. But you can also hear that they are discussing the scene and what they should do in this scene, and how he's saying that they should do like little kisses while they're dancing. And she says, no, it's better when you just talk, because her and Ryan, they just talk a lot. It's a little weird, but it just shows again how she's trying to take control of this film, how she is always, questioning his abilities as a director. Even moving, you should move this way because there's more light like this. She's saying things like that as well. We can also see that she's kind of mocking his nose, because they go in and like to be intimate with each other in the scene, and she says something like, oh, it feels so nosy here. And she's like, oh, it's a lot of nose hair. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I have a big nose. And then she says, oh, maybe we should shut down the shoot for a month so you can do a nose job. And then she laughs and she says, just kidding. When I saw that, I was like, that's exactly what she did in my interview. When I said, congrats on your little bump, she threw it back at me and said, congrats on your little bump. And then she said, just kidding. And I was like, oh, that's what she does. So I see this is her kind of sense of humor now that I don't get. Maybe it's the thing that she and Ryan does. But anyways, in this scene, in this intimate scene between these two people, I don't see anything inappropriate happening. Another thing that I thought about, when everyone's been talking about these intimate scenes and she felt, he was inappropriate, is that what's going to happen now in Hollywood when you're shooting these kind of scenes and people get afraid of being sued because it's like, oh, he sniffed my hair, he moved his hand, and he put his hand more on my neck than my shoulder. I mean, all these little nuances, can you end up being sued for that? you're trying to be in the moment to look like you're in love. And then people are just going to be afraid of pushing it too far because, I don't know. That's why I want to find an intimacy coordinator to interview, and I think I found one, so stay tuned for that. I really want to know, how does these things work on a set? So it's just been announced as well that Justin Baldoni's team are planning to release all the text messages, all the correspondence between him and Blake Lively on a special website. So stay tuned for that one. I'm really interested. I mean, there's probably so many text messages, but we've seen quite a few in the lawsuit already. I've read a lot of them. And I have to say, one thing that is so clear to me right now is that she was really slowly taking over this movie. She hijacked this movie from him. You could see how Justin Baldoni has been texting back and forth with his team, with his producers, being really worried and saying, you know, she wants to see the dailies now, she wants to see the cuts, she wants to have access to everything, and they're also talking back and forth about how she's changing the scenes, how she's changing the script almost every single day. Every time she's asking something new of him, he's just being very polite back to her and very understanding and saying, I'll get back to you on this. There's nowhere in any of these texts that he is responding in any way inappropriate, rude, or anything like that. Another thing that I found really interesting is how, you know, Blake Lively was bragging about this scene I was talking about in one of my other episodes, the rooftop scene. She was bragging to everyone that she wrote that scene. You know, that whole drama came out of that when she said that she had written the scene better than him. And then at the premiere of the movie, she goes out in interviews and said that Ryan Reynolds wrote that scene. And no one knew about that. And that's why this email from Sony, the legal team of Sony, is in the lawsuit, which says it all, I think. So the legal team says, we certainly need some clarity on public comments made about Ryan Reynolds potentially contributing writing services for the rooftop scene. Can you provide additional information on this? As there are no contracts, his services are not in the chain, nor is his name anywhere in the credits. One of the many reports which cite the claims made by Blake Lively, and then they're putting a link to an article in People magazine. And then they say, thanks for clarifying if services were rendered. Obviously, we require signed documentation immediately. So Blake Lively just, you know, went along and did things her way and didn't ask anyone else. And it's getting more and more obvious the more you read in Justin Baldoni's lawsuits. As we now know, there's so many people involved in this drama. As I talked about last time, you know, the personal trainer, and then you have all the publicists, the crisis team. You have Ryan Reynolds, her husband, you have Taylor Swift involved in this now. You have Sony involved, you have Wayfarer production company involved, and also the author Colin Hoover. Someone commented on one of my videos yesterday and said, oh my gosh, did you know that Colin Hoover deleted her Instagram? And I was like, really? I didn't know that. And I went into her Instagram and it's gone. So if I'm going to guess what happened, is probably she got so much backlash from supporting Blake Lively that she took down her Instagram. She didn't even just like, you know, limit the comment section. She took it all down and she had like 2 million followers on her Instagram. And this is not the first time she has, you know, been in the middle of controversy. 2 years ago, I saw that she tried to launch a coloring book based on It Ends With Us. And people were like, you are launching a coloring book for a movie that's about domestic violence? Don't you think that's a bit distasteful? So she got a lot of backlash from that and she retracted it and she said she was sorry about it. So I don't know, maybe this has been her vision the whole time. So I think that she agreed with the way that Blake Lively decided to promote the movie. More like a, you know, happy, bring your girlfriends, wear your florals kind of thing, instead of actually this is a serious subject that we're talking about here. I've been contacted by so many people who have had bad experiences working with Blake Lively, but most of them don't want to go on the record with it. But yesterday I spoke to a guy that lives in London. His name is Ewood, and he was on the set of Gossip Girl 10 years ago, or more than that. It was in 2010, so it's 15 years ago now. But anyway, so he just wanted to share quickly his experience being on a set with Blake Lively and Leighton Meester.
The first person that I saw was Leighton. And after Leighton, that's when I saw Blake. And the only thing I said to Leighton was just, hi. And she said hi, and that was it. And then Blake, I said hi, and then nothing. It was like, I'm nothing, and like she's not interested in, and when she didn't reply to me when I said hi, I was like, okay, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to focus on my job, which was at that time just moving stuff around because they were like shooting in different places in Paris. I really understand the vibe, because the vibe that I felt when I was close to her is the same thing that I saw when I was watching your interview. Like, and also it's like very passive aggressive, like you going to say something, you pretending it's a joke, but it's not a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is like a very mean spirit. So yeah, I didn't really like it. So that's the reason why I wanted to tell about my experience. It's a bit strange because you are on set with people who's supposed to be just here to do anything you need, just here to help you, but you are so mean. And that was it. Like my interaction with Blake was just that simple, very, very quick interaction. At the end of the second day, I was able to have a conversation with Leighton, and she was so nice. That's how my experience on set ended on a positive note, because like in the beginning it was not that great.
Thank you, Ewood, for sharing that. He also has a documentary that he's working on. So I said I will leave a link below to his GoFundMe page. So please check that out. He's doing a documentary about mental health. Anyways, guys, thanks you so much for watching. And yeah, please subscribe and hit the notification button and all that good stuff, and keep commenting. A lot of you guys have sent me emails and messages and commented on things, and I'm like, oh, I should talk about that. So I really appreciate that. So please keep them coming, and let me know what you think. Oscar is also sending his love to everyone, and yeah, he says that everyone should be nice to each other and polite, and don't make so much drama. Bye.